awhile.A. Hello, YouTube. It's me, John Avenger, again, and welcome to another live commentary. Sorry it took a couple of days off, to rest because it was a very stressful month of January. We're almost done. We only got a few more days, and then we're in February, the shortest month of the year. This time I'm doing a movie for year 2000. This is the unrated director's cut version of Pitch Black. Yes, Diesel. I wanted to do a Vin Diesel movie. It's been a while. This movie's an hour and 52 minutes, so I want to get started. The chat's open, so you guys can watch it with me, and I want to do it now, because I was going to do it later, but I'm like, hey, it's almost 12, so let's do this. I don't want to be here all day. This movie, I saw it years ago. I saw it in college. Yeah, I didn't see it back in the year 2000. I was only 15 at the time. I was too young to see it. It's the best of the Riddick films, because I didn't see Riddick from 2013 because he's not the lead in that movie. And I saw Chronicles of Riddick, and that was watered down because it was PG-13. Pitch Black. I wanted to do something that was not a comedy. I did, there's Vin Diesel's narration. Yeah, it's a good character. It's just that he needs to be in an R-rated and have good writing behind him. And this is before Fast and the Furious, because the first one came out a year after this in 2001. Yes, there is a foreign cast here, but they're not a bunch of Bintos. Ronna Mitchell's from Australia. Yep. This is a narration exposition at the beginning of the film, so. Because, how long is Fast and the Furious 10 going to be? Like 2.5 hours or 3 hours? Sorry, no. James Cameron already beat you, and look what happened. Lockout Protocol. Cole Hauser's in this movie, too. He doesn't do a lot of acting much now. Keith David is in the film. You have yeah. Because I did a lot of comedies. I did Galaxy Quest, Hexed. I did The Spy Next Door. I wanted to do something different. She was like the Margot Robbie at that time in the year 2000. I mean, what kind of a name is Rada? Seriously, not Rhonda, Rada. It's like Radha. Rada? Some people have some stupid ass names, man. I'm sorry. Rada, Robbie. I mean, Robbie's a first name, not a last name. That's not. Or like Rosemund. What's a Rosemund? Like Rosebud. It sounds like Rosebud. Or what about pike? You know what a pike is? It's a fish with a big lip. It looks like a barracuda. These effects, some of the effects look good, and some of them look kind of dated. Because again, this came out over 20 years ago. Some of you guys weren't even born when this came out. Like Little Simp wasn't alive when this movie came out. He was alive when the third movie came out in 2013, 10 years ago. Yeah, there's some movies that are more serious but have some comedic stuff like Starship Troopers, but it's more violent than, a comedy. It's not a waka waka laugh. And we don't see much of Rhoda Mitchell anymore. I haven't seen her since like I think she was in London Has Fallen, and I haven't seen her in anything since because she played the wife to Gerard Butler. But in the third movie, in Angel Has Fallen, they replaced her with Piper Perabo. So it's like they didn't even care about her because she did like Silent Hill Revelation, and we haven't seen her since. I'm like, yeah, maybe that's for the best. We have Hollywood is cursed with 90% people that are foreign. At least the people that are getting Oscar nominations this year are mostly American. Some of them are foreign, but it's not like back in the 2000s or the 2010s where everybody had to be international to get an Oscar. Look at 2007. Oh my God, it was every actor that won for acting was not American. I'm like, yeah, kiss my fat ass. You freaking voters at the Academy. You don't know what you're talking about. Not everybody foreign can act. Trust me. If that was the case, the Hobo would get an Oscar every year, and she did not because she's poison. Purge. Yeah, they're waking up out of hypersleep. Yeah, and Cole Hauser, wasn't he in one? I think he was in one of the Fast and the Furious movies. He was in the second one. He was, yeah. He was playing a Latino, but he's not Latino. He's white. Fries. This film is entertaining, and it's under 2 hours. That's why I wanted to do a podcast of a movie under 2 hours, because so many movies I did last year were over 2 hours. You know, the original Star Wars trilogy. You had some of the Marvel films, some of the DC films, like Batman Returns. They're usually close to 2 hours. This is not. Even with the extended cut, it's not. Excuse me. I like that this film starts right away with a crash landing. It doesn't start, it doesn't do like Alien where you have to wait almost an hour to see the xenomorph. Yeah, no, this movie gets right to it because now people want everything fast and furious. Nobody wants to watch a movie anymore and take it all in. They just want to see things happening. I mean, I have an ADHD brain. I can sit and watch a movie, but you have to have something happening within the first 20 or 30 minutes. That's interesting because Eternals, it lost me. You got to the 20-minute mark. They're in Britain, like it's Harry Potter, and nothing is happening. It's just a bunch of worthless, boring-ass pintos running from CGI variants. Whoop-de-freaking do. This movie does it in the first 5 minutes. So, they're crash landing on a desert planet like Tatooine. And unlike Force Awakens, it's R-rated, so they can go all out with the violence and the gore. Like in the Last of Us show, which is great. I'm going to talk about that when it's done in a few months. I can't believe that this movie is 22 years old now. Well, 23 years old this summer. No early release, yeah. That's what they say. And Riddick is an anti-hero. Yeah, not really the hero or the villain. He's the anti-hero. His eyes glow, which is a pretty cool effect. That's what makes him different. He wears those sunglasses because he's got these glowing eyes. Here we go. And this is before Vin Diesel did, Guardians of the Galaxy as the voice of Groot in the first two films. He didn't do Groot's voice in Infinity War. It was somebody else. Yeah, because is the new Fast and the Furious going to be in space? Probably, because after the last one, I'm like, yeah, that movie was a freaking cartoon. And Josh was like, we get it. You hated Fast 9. Everybody did. Nobody can sit and watch that movie and say it was amazing. It's horrible. It's a freaking cartoon. It's a freaking cartoon. Plus, it was on crack. Hmm. Seriously, why did they have to put flashbacks in the Fast and the Furious movie? It's not even one flashback. It's like several, and they had to put stock footage from some of the other films to incorporate back into the movie. That makes no sense, guys. It really doesn't. Too close to his heart. Some of these characters I don't care about, but I care about Vin Diesel. Even Cole Hauser's a good actor, and also Keith David is pretty good as well. There he is. Because if the movie's called Riddick, why is it about other characters? I guess because writers don't want to give the main character a lot of screen time. And I know that Vin Diesel was busy at the time, but come on, guys, give him something to do. So they're outside. I don't know why the filter's so bright. Like it looks like I haven't seen this movie in a couple of years, so I wanted to rewatch it. I heard the commentary already. I think there's a commentary I haven't heard yet. I heard the one from the director, producer, and visual effects thing, but I don't think I heard the one with Vin Diesel and Cole Hauser and director David Dwyer. Yeah, I don't even know who that is, but I'll probably hear that eventually, like in the summer. I just want to do my own take on this movie. We get it, foreigner, 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 foreigner. You're all gonna die. Yeah, it's a sci-fi movie. Remember Alien? Half the cast is foreign and they all die, except for Ripley and the cat. That's it. Everybody else dies. Yeah, Ian Holm, he dies. John Hurt, he dies. And he doesn't even get eaten by the alien. He gets the chest burster. The girl that the blood splatters on her face dies. I told you. Bintos are not safe in this world, guys. When it comes to cinema, they're not going to be guaranteed life in a movie. No, they're not. Infinity War. The first two people to die are Loki and Hemdall. Again, the Russos do not give a rat's ass about your Bintos. Just saying, I'm not the only one. This is American cinema, not the UK cinema. Remember that, guys. When you complain in the podcast, like, what is a Binto? Well, you haven't seen my podcast, so you know what it is. That's a dumb line. A receipt in space. Dumbass, there's no paper in space. Yeah, they just have water. The cactuses have water in them. I watched this movie for Vin Diesel and the effects, the action, and a lot of the spectacle. I'm being honest here. If he wasn't the lead, if this was like Ed Skrein or something, I wouldn't even bother. He wasn't even a thing at the time. And this was 10 years before Game of Thrones casting ruined everything. Because nowadays, every single casting decision, they're like, get a actor from Game of Thrones to Walking Dead, Breaking Bad, or whatever. Because those shows are popular. We want to see these people on the big screen. Sometimes it works, and sometimes it doesn't. Case in point, in The Last of Us, Pedro Pascal works. Bella, I'm mixed on her. Sorry, just she looks like she's 12. I saw that. I'm like, I wish that was Caitlin Deaver because she's way more desirable. And she was a child actress. Bella was in 9 episodes of Game of Thrones. Wow, 9 episodes? That's almost a whole season now on Netflix or Disney Plus. freezing out today. This is like kind of like the discount version of the cast from the first Alien movie, but that was directed by Ridley Scott, so that's why I had so many Bentos in it. It's like, why were there so many Brits in Bloodshot with Vin Diesel? That was awful. Plus, you had because you had uh what's his face Guy Pearce. I'm like, why was he there? I don't know. And then you had this black guy pretending to be British. I'm like, yeah, that was cringe, cringe and a half, cringe. It makes me cringe, guys. This is why I don't do a British theme month because I'm not British. Do I look British to you? I'm not. I'm not. Anna Taylor Joy's fine. She was born here in Florida, Josh. She's American. She has part British ancestry. It's not full. She wasn't born and raised in the UK. If she was, that would have been a problem. But she's not. She's only part, and she's part Spanish. It gives her some looks. I'll say that. Her voice is nice and soothing. It's not the most painfully obvious thing. Like the hobo, nothing is going to be worse than that. Nothing. No matter who has that accent, the hobo eats worlds and ruins lives. There's no one else. There's no one else like her. Trust me. This guy looks like Ben Schwartz. It's not Ben Schwartz though, because he was not an actor yet in the year 2000. He was like a teenager in the year 2000, right? Like late teens maybe, because he's in his 40s now. So let's see. I think it was born in 19. I think it was born in 1981. See, 91, 2000. Yeah, he was like a late teen in this when this movie came out. Oh God. Yeah, mute this. I don't want to hear this. This isn't an Arabic movie. This is a movie in space. There's Riddick. Again, I'm only doing this for you guys so you don't have to. In case you don't like movies in space that are, a little bit more. Yeah, it's not Ben Schwartz. It looks like him though. The film the film is shot in a different way. Keith David's accent is fine. It's fine. It's not annoying and it's not overbearing. Because there's other movies I've seen other actors try to do an accent and just it doesn't feel right. Those trees are weird. Those trees don't even have leaves on them. Oh, good. You're gonna smoke on a planet that you have no idea where you are. They use they use a filter so that it looks, like another planet. Like they use like a light blue filter. It's interesting for the time. The Twilight didn't need to use that because it looks terrible. The filters they use for that movie makes the actors look like they're ghosts. Their skin is so bright that they look like ghosts. Who is this guy? This isn't Ian Holm. He was doing Lord of the Rings. Trees have water in them, and so do cactus plants. Like I said. This is why the Riddick sequels didn't work, because they focused too much on the supporting cast. And it wasn't like Chronicles of Riddick had a phenomenal cast. No, it had Tandy Newton in it with an American accent for some reason, even though she's a Binto. That made no sense, and the PG-13 really hurt that movie. Thank God we have Guardians of the Galaxy 3 coming out this year to show you how it's done. Mm-hmm. Furiosa, I am looking forward to it, Josh. Regardless of your worries, because I don't worry about nothing now. After getting COVID, I'm not worried about death. I am looking forward to Furiosa. I'll see Mad Max Fury Road after this month is over because the month has been too long, and I will. After that, I'm going to wait till Furiosa comes out because I saw the other Mad Max movies. I recently rewatched Road Warrior, I think last year in 2021, and it's still a good movie. It still holds up. It's still the best of the Mad Max franchise. Still the best one. I have to see the first one again. It's been a long time. The original Mad Max from 1979. Yeah, yeah, because it's alcohol. It's stronger on your body than water. It's good for healing wounds, but it's not good for it's not good to quench your thirst because again, it's liquor. No one's watching right now, but it's fine. Don't worry. This will be uploaded to YouTube later. There's Riddick from behind. Because I'm just happy that Quantumania doesn't have any Brits in it because I don't need that. After the second movie, the Ant Man and the Wasp, yeah, I don't need any more Brits in these MCU movies. It's just too much. Hey, little Sims, you finally made it. We're 22 minutes in. 22 minutes. This also looks like Dune as well, but that's a much better movie. Like I said, gorgeous looking, great cast, and even the second movie is not going to hurt me. I told Josh, nobody can ruin that movie for me, not even Florence. Princess Rulin in the original Lynch version doesn't do anything. So I'm going to get exactly what I expect. Nothing from her. I have the other people in the movie that I'll be fine. Dea, Rebecca Ferguson, Leah Seydoux. I have Timothy Chalamet as the lead. You're not going to do better than that. Austin and Florence are probably going to be dead by the end of the movie. So kiss my ass, girls. Girl and boy, and that robot. That's a cool idea. Again, they're not going to hear you. There's nobody on this planet. There's aliens. There's aliens on this planet. There's no people. What's your top five worst movies on books? I don't. I'm not going to answer that little simple. I don't know right now. I'm not thinking. Like I said, this is not a Q and A. He still doesn't get that. It's not a Q and A. It's a commentary. Yeah, no shit. There was water here. And the film has atmosphere. That's something they don't have in a lot of sci-fi movies nowadays, where they have to throw so much in your face before you get it. Like Ready Player One. Why was that? That movie was way too much. They can't let you just enjoy this world. No, it's too digital. Everything is just. It looks fake. Oh, based on books, and I'm not going to do it now because it's going to take me forever to think. So there's a spaceship there. That high voltage sign was upside down. Hmm. And yep, somebody's dead. That's the first death of the movie. Riddick is bald, you idiot. So that guy's an aborigine. I thought it was Riddick. I'm like, oh god. I know yesterday was Australian Day, but still, that was yesterday. Today it's a new day. And also, by the way, this is judging the movie time of the film. I skipped all the, I got through all the logos and everything and just got right to the film. I don't want to sit through logos. The Universal logo and all that, yeah, just skip it. Yeah, blood. There goes Riddick on the run. Yep, gotcha. He took his glasses off, yeah. It's his goggles. Is that why there's Australians in this movie? They filmed it there? Because that's why there's a desert? I don't know. Yeah, right now. See her accent? The accent always comes out. It happened with that girl that played Sonya Blade in the Mortal Kombat 2021 movie. Yeah, it always happens. Their freaking accent slips out every single time. Man, his voice is freaking awesome. I talk like this. Here it works. It's not boring. Like in every Fast and the Furious movie, it just seems like he's just talking like that because it's part of his character to say family every 2 seconds. I'm like, yeah, again. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, his eyes glow. Are you gonna rent on Halloween Ends? I haven't even seen the other two, the 2018 movie or Kills, because it's not Halloween yet. So if I see those movies, I'm gonna do them. That and make see them until October because why watch them in January? They're not long enough to kill time. I've been seeing longer movies to kill time, either movies 2 hours or under 2 hours, like an hour and 50. Because that's why I reviewed random films this month that were under 2 hours. Mm. And what is it with these sci-fi movies where girls have to have short hair? Gamora has long flowing hair, right? In Guardians, and Princess Leia had long hair. So why put short hair? You want them to look like lesbians? No, I told you stop doing that, Disney and the rest of yous. I mean, this movie was 23 years ago. I can't blame this movie for, but like every sci-fi movie after this had to have women with short hair. Prometheus, Alien Covenant, so this, the last Star Wars movie, it's just too much. I'm not a big fan of short hair unless it's curly or poofy or something like that, or they're completely bald like the Black Panther films. I'm like, yeah, I like hair on women's head. I like touching hair. It's just my thing. See, the creatures don't show up in the movie until like almost an hour in. We're only 33 minutes in. Hmm. There's one of the creatures, but they don't start attacking until later. It's early 2000 CG, so so they do show them, but in the shadows mostly. Yep, a foot. There's the creatures. Yeah, they do show them almost an hour in, more than a half hour in. Even to the last Terminator movie had women with short hair. You know, uh, Sarah Connor and Mackenzie Davis had short hair. I'm like, why? Are you trying to send a message to me? I'm in here. See, accent always comes out. Again, no. You went into their den and you wonder why they're coming after you. It's not a perfect movie. This is not a classic, but Vin Diesel makes the movie watchable, and the gore, and the action and the special effects, and even the way the film is shot. Some of the supporting cast, they're just die mostly, and they never come back in the sequel anyway. So it's like you said it, not me. Yep, get over here. Gulliver's Travels. Which one, Little Sim? There's like 18 versions. I've never read the book, but I've seen the animated film. The 30s, I think. Yeah, it's a cartoon. I haven't seen the version with Jack Black because I heard it was horrible. Hmm. Again, that was what was toned down in the sequel and Chronicles of Riddick. Even the unrated version, it didn't help. It was still PG-13. Are you going to do a Q&A sometime this year? Not right now. I'm going to wait until the winter's over because it's been way too long. January feels like it never ends. There's been no snow. Last night it was a massive rainstorm instead. Crazy winds, and nothing, no snow. It's just disappointing, and nothing in the theater worth seeing until Ant-Man 3. That is. What is that? A battery? Yeah. What? And Rhonda Mitchell's too thin for me. I prefer women with a little bit more meat, or someone pale that's good looking like Mia Wasikowska. Because if you've seen her long flowing hair and that face, yeah, she's beautiful. Like she's my kind of a woman from down under. This lady, no, never does it for me. She's like the poor woman's Michelle Pfeiffer or something like that. I'm just not for me. toy. So that eye close up, that's a pretty good shot. Is that water? Water! They found water and a working computer. Because, like I said, does every girl have to be the next Ellen Ripley in a sci-fi movie? No, you can do a different character. Yeah, and it's like every movie, Vin Diesel wants to wear a tank top, whether it be white, black, or gray or something. Because in this movie and in the Fast and the Furious movies, it's like what he likes to wear, a tank top. It's freezing. Let me put the heat on. Hold on. Are rated T games meant for me? Yeah. Well, now, a couple years ago, no, because you were like a kid, like back in the 2010s. Hold on. Gotta put the heat on because it's cold in here. There we go. Much better. Because it's freezing out. I don't want to freeze to death in here. I should have the heat on because it's cold out. You're 14. Teens now is 13 and up, so you're fine. But short games are not though, because you're not 18 yet, or even 17 with adult supervision. It's gonna look like a. It's like mini Riddick. Yeah, we're almost an hour into the movie, so half of these actors I never saw them in anything again after this, except for Robin Mitchell, Cole Hauser, and Vin Diesel, and of course Keith David because he's done voice acting. But where did these people go? I don't know. It's almost 12 o'clock. Yeah, you took Disney Channel Savage and your Independence Day live commentary again because the Disney Channel's not the same anymore. Have you seen them lately? They have one good show, live action, and that's Secrets of Sulphur Springs because it's not a comedy. Their comedies now are not funny. Bunked has been on the air for almost 7 years, and I'm like, it should have ended after this guy passed away, right? It should have ended already. I leave no stone unturned. Disney already took it in the ass from me when I did the Who Framed Roger Rabbit live commentary. Yeah, I leave no stone unturned. If somebody did me wrong, they're gonna get roasted. This is not a Q&A. This is a live commentary. Anything goes. Oh no, bats! Yeah, I know. Those look terrifying. That's what caused COVID in the first place. A bunch of contaminated bats. Because it didn't come out of nowhere. Damn. Keith David did he did The Thing. John Carpenter's A Thing. That didn't even have women in it. It was just a bunch of American actors in a isolated ice, mountain where nobody's around for miles, and there were dogs. That's it. But that movie is a classic for a reason. It didn't need to pander to anybody. It was just a sci-fi horror movie that still holds up to this day. See, that's a movie that doesn't have women in it, but I can respect it for doing that. Because Carpenter didn't need a woman in every film to be, badass or be the lead. It's not a sexist movie either. They don't. I need to rewatch that. It's been a while since I've seen Jar Carpenter's Thing. I don't own it, so I need to get it eventually. Oh man, good practical effect, and that transition was pretty good too. That it went out because of with Star Wars they do that all the time. They do like a fade white. Yeah. hmm the some of the choices in this film, to transition and the filters and all that, it's actually pretty interesting. It's too bad some of the supporting cast is just kind of there. So again, it's called pitch black. These creatures don't come out in the daytime. These aren't the zombies in the Last of Us or in The Walking Dead. These are creatures that hide in the night, like bats. Bats are nocturnal. They don't come out during the day. You never see a bat in the daytime. You notice that? If you go into a cave, all the caves are usually dark. Or if you see bats in the zoo, they're in a dark room because bats don't like to. They sleep during the day. hmm They sleep. Because I've seen bats at the Bronx Zoo when I was a kid. I'm like, I can't see them. I'm like, yeah, you could see their wings and they're sleeping because they during the day they sleep. I'm kind of nocturnal myself sometimes because I go out at night sometimes, and other times I sleep during the day. I take naps during the day. It helps me rebuild my, you know, it helps me to recharge my batteries because I have to do a lot of work during the day. So this movie's still well made. It's just some of the supporting cast. I would have just cast other actors, but I guess they were filming in Australia because that's why they're in the desert for half the film. So they said just cast a bunch of. Independence Day, I'm not doing the sequel. Great, my connection's unstable. Of course, because the winds are crazy. Try reconnecting. Hold on. I'm going to finish this, even if I have to do it in two parts, because last time this didn't happen. When I did Spy Next Door, yeah, there we go, stable again. I'm going to do this all today. I'm not going to wait till tomorrow. If this was a 3-hour movie, then I would do it in two parts, but he's an anti-hero. Anti-heroes kill. Look at Black Adam in that movie. Because in the comics, he's a bad guy. Look at Mando. Look at Jack Sparrow. Yeah, he will kill to get to what he wants. There's a lot of anti-heroes. Even Elsa didn't kill anybody, but she's an anti-hero. People keep forgetting that. Even though she's gorgeous and has the voice of an angel, she it can hurt. She can actually hurt you if you get in her way. And she says no. Ugh, what is that? Oil? That's just Fury and knife or dagger or whatever blade. Did this movie have a definitive ending? Yeah, it did, but they made sequels, and when you do sequels, they're usually not going to be better than the original. Sometimes, sometimes they are. Top Gun Maverick is better than the original Top Gun because it didn't waste time with a sex scene and repetition, and also it didn't have homoeroticism in it. They cut all that out and they made it epic. Ugh. I guess I can have some bread because I need to eat some lunch. I take a nap. Oh, I could say the same thing about. There's rumors of Bad Santa 3. Why? The second movie wasn't as good as the first one. Hmm. I know. It's a sci-fi movie. It's gonna have. Hmm. Needle in the eye. Oof. Right near the eye. I know I'm not saying much. It's just that We only got 5 more days until February. I'm glad because January just feels way too long. At least December we have Christmas and New Year's, but in January it just feels like it never ends. Again, subtitles, please. Why are there Arabs in this movie? I mean, this is not Saudi Arabia; it's freaking Australia. That's where they filmed it. Having these Arabs be in the movie just made no sense. It just feels out of place. That's why if there were Arabs and Alien or aliens with an alien resurrection, it would be out of place. I don't know what that is. Kick on? I never heard that expression. Move on, I guess, but kick on? Somebody call my name? And people say Attack of the Clones is boring? Yes. There's way worse movies. How many? Two. Chronicles of Riddick and 2013's Riddick. There was also an animated movie, but that doesn't count. I'm saying like live action Riddick. This, but Vin Diesel's so busy doing 14 other films that it's just can't wait till Fast and the Furious is finally over. We're back for good, and I pretty much agree with this. Yeah, this is the best one, only because there's enough Riddick in the movie, and it's not PG-13 second one. The second one was disappointing. I wonder how we're going to realize that making an R-rated franchise PG-13 is going to ruin it. It is, unless you do it well. Like Live Free or Die Hard would have been fine if the studio didn't interfere. It's a kick-ass movie, but if it was R from the beginning, it would not have hurt the box office. Look at Deadpool. Look at Logan. Look at the first Blade movie. That was R-rated. They did not censor it, and it made a lot of money. Not everything has to be for the Gen Z crowd, like Little Sims. Everything could be. There could be movies for adults and shows for adults, and it could be successful. Look at Last of Us. That show was successful because it did not pander to children or teenagers. It's adults. It's violent. It's hardcore and atmospheric, and it doesn't have any stupid childish humor. Yeah, they put a joke in there too, but it's quick. That's what's out of place in Last of Us, the humor. I know the game has some light moments, but a light moment could be just people smiling. It doesn't have to be like cartoonish, vaudeville acts. We're about an hour in, so we're halfway through the film, so lucky. There's the flying creatures again. They look pretty good for it. They keep them in the dark, so that looks pretty good for the year 2000. Walking with Dinosaurs. I haven't done that one yet. I have the movie on Blu-ray, so. There's a swarm of these things. Hold on. There's the creatures again. Hold on. Okay, I'm nourished now. Let's get the commentary. Here's the creatures flying. Yeah, because they come out at night. They don't come out during the day. And if you haven't seen this movie, I recommend streaming it. I don't think the unrated version is much different. They just added scenes. Hold on. Yep, she dies. I told you they were going to die. Wow, they ripped her in half. They ripped her in half, buddy. Again, these creatures are not playing around. We're an hour and 1 minute into the film. Yeah, I told you, these people are just there to die or be saved. Yeah, because again, he's an anti-hero. He's not the villain. Mm-hmm. You hear those creatures? Yeah, they're sound. Woo woo. Yeah. There's no Asians in this movie. Oh well. It's not Asian month. It's just Chinese New Year. And yes, it's 16 days long. It's not just one day. Like our New Year's is just one day. Their New Year's is 16 days, so 2 weeks. I think today's the fifth day. Let's see. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Yeah. Fifth day. Those glowing eyes are pretty cool. There's a good effect. Uh-oh. Yeah, it's a good movie. It's not a great movie though. It would have been great if I cared about some of the cast members. Can't work because again, how come Henry Danger and Wizards of Waverly Place can't work? One because Selena Gomez is done with Disney, and two, Henry Danger's also done, and three, Nickelodeon and Disney will never collaborate. They don't like each other. That's why in the KCAs a lot of Nick shows win because they hate Disney so much. Disney is a pandering fester of greed and filth, if you ask me. Now, back in the day when I was a kid, it was wholesome and family friendly. Now it's dirty. Look at their Disney Plus shows. Look at the films that came out in the theater last year. They either had gay agendas or they were forced feminist agendas, or it was about race. Because yeah, that's what it's all about, isn't it? Disney. Even though Walt was a white man and he put black people in his films, but the problem is there was always they always played slaves. I'm like, it's film. It's not. It's an interpretation. These creatures look great. They didn't come back until the third Riddick movie because the second movie they were nowhere to be found because it was PG-13, so they couldn't rip people to shreds in that one. Look at their claws; they're huge. Really good effects. It's like in the Frighteners, the creatures in that, the ghosts, they still look good. Even to this day, they look really good. For late 90s CGI, nowadays everything looks like a video game. That's the problem. This movie does not look like a video game. The creatures are in the dark, and some of it is practical, some of it is CGI. But nowadays, everything is CGI. I'm like, you don't need to do that. Top Gun Maverick already proved that you can make a movie without making it look like a video game. That's what's wrong with cinema. We have movies like that make $1 billion that are worth it, and then we have Avatar. Yeah, where everything looks like a video game. It doesn't look real to me. It looks fake. It's a bunch of blue cats in the water with whales and dinosaurs and dragons and shit. I'm like, yeah, nothing human about it. Nothing human. I know. It also hurts vampires as well, or the gremlins, bright lights. You notice because it's bright lights that hurt them because in the second gremlins they come out, there's lights everywhere and they don't get affected by it. It's bright lights or electricity. It's a cool voice, Keith David. Do you think the sequels are better than this one? No. Chronicles of Riddick is a step down. The first one is still the best. Even if they do a fourth one that's R rated like this one, nothing will beat the original. Because sequels usually are not better than the original. Sometimes they are. Some of the Marvel movies, some of the sequels are better than the original. Some of them, like the Captain America sequels, Avengers Endgame is better. Well, it's not better than the original, but it's better than 2 and 3. And also, uh, what other sequels are better than the original? The Dark Knight is better than Batman Begins because it's a lot faster, more faster pace than the first one. It's just too long. Uh, like I said, Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi, yeah. But there's some sequels that are just not as good as the original, not even close, or they're terrible, like Speed 2. Ugh. I'll do Alien eventually because Alien is from 1979, right? Yeah, so I could do it probably by the summer. Glowing eyes. Yeah, because the 2013 movie, they have some disgusting dialogue in it. Like, I'm going to give you a rim job. I'm like, oh my God. Why why are you saying that in a freaking sci-fi movie? This is not a parody. And Riddick is not the lead character in that movie. I mean, you got Batista in that movie. You do have some good actors, much better than in this one, but they have horrible dialogue. Like, well, who else is in it? You have uh this girl that not Katie Strickland. What's her name from Battlestar Galactica? Damn it, I forgot her name. Yeah, Katie Sackhoff. She's a good actress. She's much better than Rhoda Mitchell. I'll say that. What do you think of my comment? Which one? Do sequels? Some sequels are better than no. The sequels are not better than this one. Because I love sci-fi, but you don't have to make it a joke. Yeah, you notice that the two Australians died first. Yeah, again, so they have glow sticks. That is a cool looking visual, though. Still looks better than some of the sci-fi movies today, like Avatar: Way of Water. It looks too digital. There's no people in the movie. Might as well have made the movies animated. 'Cause that's basically what it is. A bunch of CGI motion capture. There's no people in the films. That's a cool looking visual. Yeah. In the Navy, you can sell the 17s in the Navy. Howard. Yep, he broke the thing. See, you're an idiot. Guy with the glasses. See, he got scared and he ran away like a bitch. Time to die, turtle. No, the one before that, the crossover is not going to work because again, yep. He was supposed to die in France. No, This movie never needed to be in France because yep, there's the creatures, and he dies off screen because reasons. Dumbass, running away, crashing everything. Yep, they're eating him. You can sell the sounds. They look like a hammerhead shark and a flame like dinosaur. Hmm. And listen. Yeah, you listen to Vin Diesel when he says listen. And also, at least Vin Diesel's not a superhero here. He doesn't even he doesn't even kill the creatures mostly until I think the third act. So you're a non-binary, hmm. A girl that shaves her head bald like me. I mean, again, they stole that from Ripley in Alien 3. It's the same haircut. Nowadays, I don't know what kind of a creature a person is. With some, I can tell right away with the body, but with some haircuts or their faces, like to find out what a person is or who the person is. Cole Hauser does have a lot of screen presence in this movie. He's a much better leading man material than freaking Guy Pearce or someone like that. Yeah, because he's awful. I didn't even see Lockout because I'm like, I said, because Guy Pearce has to fake an accent for the whole movie. At least Hauser doesn't. So using a flare. Because Rhoda Mitchell is just dead weight in this movie. Just like in the Fallen movies, there's a reason they recast her in the third one because she doesn't do anything. If you're gonna have a woman in a movie, here's the thing: give them something to do instead of yelling or just being in the background or being on a phone for 2 hours. Give them something to do. It's not asking for much. Cameos, I can understand that. They walk on, they walk off. But in a major role, do something. It's why we love Ripley, because she's not just this, I'm going to sit on my ass for half the movie character in the Alien franchise. She's not. She does stuff. We like characters that are not passive, but are active. Before the squeal, what squeal? I don't know what you're talking about, Little Sims. The movie's almost over. We're about 30 minutes left. In the Navy. Eye close up. Mhm. Here comes his little dagger. Hmm. They're doing a macho fight with each other. Yep, he slashed him from behind. Hmm. And for most of this movie being in the dark, you can see what's going on. Solo, the whole movie's in the dark. You can't see anything. And there's no excuse because the movie had a way bigger budget than this. And it looks terrible. You can't see it. Half the movie's shot in the dark. Even the creatures are shot in the dark. I'm like, why is it so dark? Here, there's a lot of day sequences, but on the planet. But in Solo, you can't see a thing. Yep, got him. The crossover question. I already answered it. It's not going to work, Little Sims. Let it go already. Study. I thought that was a boy in the movie. Who shaves their head like that? Like, what girl shaves their head like this? Well, non-binaries, I guess, or lesbos. I don't know. Yeah, Cole Hauser had to die. He had to go film Too Fast, Too Furious, and so did Vin Diesel. Well, was he in that? No, he wasn't in that one. Cole Hauser had to film that one, and uh, yeah, some of these other actors did other projects. Hmm. Mm-hmm. That's a good question. Yeah. In a sci-fi movie, you don't need to put religion in there. It's not necessary, guys. Ridley Scott did that in Alien Covenant and Prometheus, and it failed. I choose to believe it, yeah, and you choose to believe in the next movie, you're dead. For no reason, to just kill off what's your Numi Rapace's character. So she's in Prometheus for nothing because Ridley Scott doesn't know how to direct a movie anymore. And he has bad writers. That's why Alien is now in the hands of Disney, because Fox is owned by Disney, 20th Century Fox, or 20th Century Studios. And their movies don't make money anymore, 20th Century Studios. The only thing that made it is freaking Avatar. Why? Because Avatar is the biggest freaking thing in the world because of James Cameron. How come you didn't answer? Again, I'm gonna just, I'm bailing out on this one. I'm sorry. I don't want to hear it. I told you I'm gonna put you. I'm gonna do this. Damn it. Stupid questions. Again, this is not a Q&A. Stop asking questions of the same freaking thing. God, teens are so repetitive. Why you won't answer it? Why would you answer it? Why would you answer it? Like, geez, you have Tourette's or something? I'm surprised Josh hasn't showed up, and I already told him to see my podcast. Well, he'll see it later. I don't like repetition, guys. Say something different. Yeah, I know. It's survival of the fittest. We just got a few more minutes, and then the movie's over. Because, like I said, I can't take this anymore. You people go on this podcast to ask questions instead of just saying, "Hey, John, what's up?" It's always, "Do you think this crossover will work again?" It's not going to. Selena Gomez is not an actress anymore on the Disney Channel or Nickelodeon. She never even did a Nick show. She only won KCAs because, again, kids will vote for anybody at this point. Again, the Arabs are not meant to live in this movie. They're meant to die. Let me just remove this one too. I can't take it anymore. You people think a Q&A is a freaking... The next podcast, I'm going to just shut the chat off. If you're not going to be helpful, I'm just going to shut it off. I don't need it for everything. It bleed blue blood because that way the movie didn't get an NC-17 for the violence. Like I said, some of the CG is a little bit dated. Some of it. Yeah, right in the gut. See, Riddick does kill a creature in the third act. Wow. Slice his intestines out. I don't even know why I have a chat when the chat is... Mm-hmm. Rain. That's how it was yesterday. That's why teenagers should not be watching my podcasts. If you're under 18, don't even bother. Don't bother even being subscribed to me or being on here because you're too young to handle a movie like this. All you want to do is talk about things that have nothing to do with the freaking conversation. We're almost done. Should have chose a shorter movie, but whatever. As I said, my channel is not meant for kids, and 14 to 16 is kids. Over 17 is an adult. 13 to 16 are children. They shouldn't be watching my stuff. Period. You know, Little Sims is just immature. He has to grow up a little bit. You shouldn't have been on YouTube that young. 14 is way too young. You think you're already adults and you're not. You're a child. By law, you're a child. You're not even close to being an adult. Glowing lights, look on the wall. Is that a slug? Power. You know, just because I do podcasts and review movies for kids doesn't mean my channel is for kids. Don't mistake the two. Even back in 2013, I'm like, no, I'm not a kids channel. Go watch freaking YouTube Kids, where you can't even leave comments. Here you can, but I just, I'm not in the mood, guys. We're 26 days into 2023, and there hasn't been one drop of snow. That's what I wanted. I didn't want rain. We're gonna get plenty of rain in the spring when my brother moves out. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's laughing at you because his career's bigger than you, Rada. Mm-hmm. Don't try to act at the end, Rada. The movie's almost over. She's bawling like a baby. Just get up, weakling. I told you she's dead weight for the whole movie. She's dead weight. And then she got a bunch of roles after this, like Silent Hill and Rogue and all that. I'm like, eh. And I'm saying Rogue, the movie, the Killer Crocodile movie, not Rogue from the X-Men. She would have been terrible. I prefer Anna Paquin. At least Anna Paquin won an Oscar. He's stronger than you, Rada. You're not Ronda Rousey. He has so much charisma, man. He saves this movie because if this didn't have Vin Diesel, this be a by the numbers sci-fi action horror film. It just would. Thankfully, the movie's almost over, and I'm not going to do the sequel because I don't own the Chronicles of Riddick anymore. And I'll see the third movie by itself, maybe in February or March. I don't know. Yep, that's a cool looking visual. That gray tint. It looks like Lightspeed from Star Wars. Mm. Hmm. It's a cool looking visual. After this, I'm going to shut my computer off for a little bit while I finish the clothes. Kids can have YouTube channels, yeah, but they can't watch certain things. Restrictions. I don't have any restrictions. I'm an adult. I started YouTube when I was an adult, not a kid. I didn't have YouTube when I was a kid. I wasn't even allowed to go to a chat room when I was a kid in the 90s. I didn't go to the chat room until I got a Facebook in the 2010s. And even then, some people are, spammy. Yep, you got cut. blood. Mm-hmm. Gotcha, bitch. My franchise, not yours. Things in every podcast they'll send you. Say hi, and then you freaking you have a bunch of freaking you say the same thing about Nick, Disney, or whatever. Can't you grow up a little bit? Mm-hmm. Now they get off the planet. Yeah, we knew Rhoda Mitchell was gonna die. I didn't care about her, so she's the discount Ellen Ripley, and she doesn't come back in Chronicles of Riddick or the 2013 Riddick movie. So there's a reason for that. Because again, nowadays kids act like they're like 4 years old and they're using tablets. I didn't touch a tablet until I was an adult. Flame on, yep. Because I didn't know you were 14. If I knew you were 14, I would have told you not to subscribe to me. Because again, kids do not watch my videos. They're not supposed to. They have to have restrictions. They have to know what's appropriate for them. 14-year-olds can't go see an R-rated movie without an adult. It doesn't work that way. 14. I know, because I didn't go to an R-rated movie on my own until I was 18. And even then, I have to show ID. I told you these people were cannon fodder. You had the little girl's shaved head, and the black guy. That's it. And that's pitch black. An hour and 46 minutes. I'm glad it wasn't. It was under 2 hours. Basically, the running time of the first, Blade Trinity. It is what it is. But Little Sims, yeah, you have to grow up a little bit faster because you kids, you think you're like adults when you're 14. I'm like, no, yeah, if you're Jewish, but not if you're, not. Anyway, that was Pitch Black. If you haven't seen it, it's worth a watch. I don't see much of a difference between this version and the theatrical cut. Kids can't watch your channel. Again, it's not meant for kids. Look at what the movies I do on here that I review. Most of them are not for kids. But anyway, thanks for watching. Take care, and I'll see you guys in the next review. In the next podcast, which will probably be in a couple days. Thanks for watching. See ya.